On the battlefield, a new hero moves with graceful and enigmatic coordination. We know him as the photographer, Marcel, alongside his camera, Clamart. But perhaps the word alongside is misleading. There is no distinction between who is leading whom. If we must define their relationship, they are like two voices of the same person. One, but not one. They answer one another. They move in pursuit of each other. Together, they form a feud called the self. How did such a unique soul come to be? It began with a split and one decisive act of seeing. Some experiences are over in an instant, but their pain lasts a lifetime. In the moment he was abandoned, the weight became more than what young Marcel could bear. His soul chose an extreme form of self-preservation. It split into two. The part carrying pain, confusion, and raw emotion was later anchored to the camera by dark magic. This is Clamart. The remaining part made Marcel calm and stable, but his emotions no longer stirred. He lived as an observer, watching the world through a viewfinder, safe, yet profoundly lonely. Clamart, the forgotten half, only remembered the chill of abandonment and the silence of being ignored. He forgot who he was. Marcel believed Clamart was nothing more than the product of dark magic. They were so close, yet separated by an unimaginably thick layer of glass, the neglect of the self. When building this story, we were not only thinking about magic. Perhaps at some point, we too have locked away an imperfect, painful part of ourselves, deep inside our own camera, and pretended it didn't exist. But this equilibrium could never last forever. The news of his mother's death struck like a stone upon the icy surface that Marcel had carefully maintained. Clamart spiraled out of control, dragging Marcel into chaos. And for the first time, Marcel did not turn away from the turmoil. He asked himself, what is it that's affecting me? For the first time, he truly saw the camera that had always been by his side. In that moment, he was no longer a photographer. He was a lost soul trying to find himself. Through the viewfinder, he did not see his own face. He saw a storm, another self scarred and sealed within childhood shadows. The ice shattered. The barrier dissolved. There was no fear, no rejection, only a sweeping realization. I am not broken. I simply lost my other half. This was no simple glance, but an act of true recognition. In seeing Clamart, Marcel saw his soul made whole. And Clamart, after enduring the darkness and unheard screams for so long, was finally seen. Nothing had changed, yet everything was different. The camera was no longer a tool to be ignored, but the self that walks beside him, a shared path of redemption. This relationship flows into his theme music as well. The two melodies of the feud are no longer cold counterpoints. One begins to learn understanding and acceptance. The other gradually draws back its thorns, finding a more ordered voice. They remain distinct, yet move together toward harmony. This is what gives Marcel his unforgettable presence. Beyond his noble elegance, his madness and pain live in the details. The fractures in his necklace, clothing, and cuffs reflect the wounds within. His unconventional hairstyle gives him visual identity among our heroes. and alludes to the inner turmoil he's concealed beneath that cold exterior. And because Marcel and Clamart have learned to see and coexist with one another, when Marcel finally meets his sister Melissa, the one who received their mother's love, he is able to calm himself and accept his past. He even accepts that fleeting moment of pain and confusion as a fragment of himself, because he now understands that every emotion he captures, every heartbeat he records, is felt by another self. The past no longer defines him, but he is not healed, nor has he made peace with his past. He has simply learned to allow another self to exist, to allow emotions to surface, to allow imperfection. He accepts the fractures in his life and discovers that light enters through them. From this moment on, his connection with the world truly begins. His story began with focusing on and freezing moments in time, from pointing the lens outward to turning it inward. These days, he walks alongside his other self in the lasting light.